Hello, beautiful people. Today we're doing something different. If you watched the other video, we made this tumbler with the tack it method and the fabric in ice cream cones. And I thought, how cute would it be if we made the lid to have ice cream scoops on top? So that's what this video is going to be. So the things that we are going to be using are lightweight spackling. Don't make the mistake like I did and buy normal spackling, because that stuff is so heavy that your cup is like 5 pounds. So this stuff is like light as a feather, and it's almost like working with buttercream. It's so easy to work with. If you see in here, it's like buttercream consistency, and it's super duper light. So you're gonna want some of this. And this should be enough. I have another one just in case we don't have enough. Now I'm going to do chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry ice cream. So the way I'm going to color my spackling for those colors is using mica powder. So I'm going to be using pink, a tiny bit of brown, and I'm going to put a little bit of white in the vanilla just because these two may be a little bit of sparkly, so I want it to match. I'm also going to be using fake sprinkles. These are little plastic pieces. I have several different kinds, but I thought this color would go best with this cup. And last but not last actually, I have a little fake cherry. So we're gonna put that in there. And I have 3 different size ice cream scoops. So because this is a smaller lid, I'm just going to kind of figure out, I don't think I'll be using the large one. So I think I'll be using the medium and a small, or maybe 3 smalls. I think I might do 3 small scoops just because this lid is so small. This is the 20-ounce tumbler. I did take the little clip off that slides it shut because you won't be using it anyway, because there will be ice cream sitting on top. So if you are excited as I am, let's get started. I changed my mind on that other one and I opened up my new one. The reason being is that one was a little too loose for me because my scoops would have like been little blobs instead of scoops. So I just opened up my new batch here, and I'm going to get a little bit in this cup. And you don't have to color it white if you don't want to, but I just want to kind of get that little, if there's going to be any pearly effect on the other two, I would want it the same on this one. So I'm just going to mix it in the best you can. It's hard to tell on white, obviously, because you're not looking for a color. So just do it for a little bit, and then we're going to get it scooped onto our lid. And then we'll do the same thing for our strawberry and our chocolate. So for this one, I think I will use the small scoop. You're just going to pack it in there, and whatever we don't use left on the white, we'll just use for our strawberry. So just get that back. And that should make a much nicer scoop than that watered down version. So I'm just going to press it in. It takes a little bit of coaxing to come out of your spoon. There we go. And you just kind of want to make sure it's on there. Don't cover your straw area. Okay, so that's that one. I'm gonna get a little bit more. I think I'll do a larger pink scoop, my medium size. So I'm just going to mix this with some pink mica powder. You can use acrylic paint to color it if you want to. I just don't want to because it will water it down a little bit, and I don't want it mushy. I kind of want it hard like it is right now. That way you can get that defined scoop of ice cream out of your ice cream scoop. So just mix, obviously the pink is, you can see when it's mixed with your color in there. And then once I'm done with this pink one, I will go wash out this cup and this stick and wash out my ice cream scooper and start all over with the chocolate. That's a much better consistency than the other one. I'm not sure why the other one got so soft sitting in there, but it did. So always be mindful of, if you're going to be making these, of the consistency of your spackling. So almost perfect amount. You're just going to kind of put them on your lid however you want them arranged. So I think I will do this one and kind of press it down. You want these to, we are going to put resin over them, but just kind of get it in a place where you want it. So there's the two, and then we're going to do a chocolate one right there. I didn't clean out with a cup because, like I mix icing for cakes, I usually just mix lightest to darkest. So since that's what I'm doing in here, I did wash out my scooper though, and the pink should mix right in with the brown without a problem. And then once we have our ice cream finished, we will get some chocolate sauce and some sprinkles on here and our cherry. And then the hard part, the hardest part of this is waiting. It's waiting until it's dry. This does take several days. And when you think it's dry, I would say wait another day, just to be sure. All right, let me try to get it out. I'm gonna use a little scoop because this, like I said, this is a 20-ounce cup. I don't have a whole lot of real estate on this top. So we're just going to kind of coax it out in place. Whoops. Rearrange it. It's kind of get it pushed against the other. What do you think, guys? Isn't that adorable? And the straw, let me see if I have a, yep, I have a straw that I use for these kinds of things, will still fit. So just make sure you move it around and it fits in there. So that is that. So now we will mix up some chocolate sauce. I do want to mention, when you put these away, make sure this lid gets snapped on super tight or this will dry out and you will not have it for the next time. Okay, for the chocolate sauce, I have some brown acrylic paint. I'm going to squirt some in this little jar. Not much, just a little bit. Now, depending on the consistency, which is still a little bit thick, I'm going to add a drip of water at a time. That was more than a drip. And if you need to fix it, just add more paint. You can do this with resin if you want to, but I don't want to wait until then. You just kind of want to be able to have a nice dripping effect. I might need another pinch of water. Now, if it's too drippy, you're going to end up making a mess. I'm going to try that. And what we're going to do is basically kind of like you would on ice cream, coax it down. Just kind of get your starting point, which is your center, and coax it down to drip, whichever way you want it to go. Can you see that? There's no right or wrong. It's chocolate drips, so however you want it to look. I'm just going to get it a little bit dripped going down each one of my ice cream scoops. And then I'm going to add some sprinkles to dry onto there. Just kind of want it to look like it's spilling over. And if it goes too far, just kind of stop it. I don't want too much. I want a little bit more on my... You could always wipe it off. And the other thing I'm going to do is put my cherry in there. So I'm going to get my cherry stuck right in there, like that. And we're going to get some sprinkles on the wet paint. Actually, I'm going to sprinkle it right over the sprinkles. It won't stick to the spackling because the spackling is kind of a dry texture. Now that part we can clean right off, that's no problem. We'll get that when it's dried. So I'm just going to wait for it all to dry before we start cleaning. And that's it, guys. That's the gist of it. I'm going to set this aside where I can't see it and put a timer on for 5 days so I don't think about it. And the next scene will be 5 days later. It has been 5 days, 5 long days. You guys are so lucky. It's like a split second because it was very hard to wait. So these are solid and they are dried. So what I have done is mixed up about 20 milliliters of clear resin. And I'm just going to, first of all, I forgot a glove. I don't want it to get on my hands. I'm gonna hold this lid and I'm just going to like drizzle the resin around it and let it drip down. And then I'm also going to tape this. Let me grab my tape. I just grabbed some wide painter's tape. I'm just gonna go all the way around the rim just to help the cleanup process be a little easier. Now if you do get resin on the plastic, it will come off. You just have to get it off, so that won't be a problem. And I didn't make it long enough, so I'm just going to wrap it up underneath this so it sticks. And grab another piece of tape. I don't know what happened there. So take your time, it's really no rush. I always try to take my time and prep because it saves so much headache after the fact when you're trying to clean up. Okay. So I've got that ready. Grab a silicone tool, one of these, to help it get into the cracks. Now it doesn't matter, I'm going to get it on, I'm going to get it on the plastic lid because it's clear, so it really won't matter. I'm also going to make sure I start at the top of this cherry because you want to make sure you resin the cherry down. Because it's in there, but it's not in there permanently right now. And just so you know how important it is to cover everything, because if you're washing this and you get water on this drywall mud, it'll just disintegrate. So just be very mindful of where you're getting it and make sure it's in every single spot, even up underneath. I'm gonna drip it in there when I get to that point. Use whatever tool works for you. So definitely need it in there, up underneath that. Now it will drip off the cherry because of gravity. So when this is all dried, you can go in with UV resin and just zap the areas that the resin came off of. Once you got it completely covered, let it sit for maybe a half an hour before you pull the tape off. That way you don't have it curing to the tape and having a harder time getting it off. So that's it. That's the whole process. Let's let it cure and see what it looks like when it's dry. I'm going to spray some alcohol on it just to pop some surface bubbles. All right, see you in a bit. It's all done, you guys. Look at this. Everything came out great. There isn't even any touch-up on this one that I have to do. The whole cherry didn't drip off. So because it was plastics, I was thinking some might completely fall off. If there was, you could just UV resin over it and get it cured really quick. But everything is covered, and just check up underneath, which you could see from underneath your lid that everything is shiny. So nothing needs to go up under there. If you need to, you could probably put a dot of hot glue under there and then UV resin over that hot glue. But this is it. It's done. Isn't it adorable? Here, I'll grab the cup so you can see and zoom out for you. I think that does the best thing you could do for this cup since it's an ice cream cup. This tutorial is a couple days ago, so you can go back and find that if you want to see how I made the cup, but this one was just about the lid. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you found it useful, please hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you come back, and you guys will get some end pictures, and I will see you tomorrow. I hope you all have a blessed day. Bye.